welcome back. My name is Sensei-pong, and this is Psy High, and we have actually come up to a pop quiz. And this could be bad because we haven't really been keeping up on our homework. So now our choices are either we're going to cheat on the test using our clairvoyance or whatever, and hope we don't get caught, or we can actually just take the exam, pass or fail. We're going to do it honestly, not get worried about getting into detention and getting to the drama rehearsals late and whatever. Or we can try to cheat and try to get caught, so we can get detention in room 014. That way we can actually get ourselves into room 014 and figure out what's going on firsthand. But that's a little bit risky because we might get influenced by the vernacular bum in the process, or Miss Clay. So, this is actually kind of tricky. Honestly, let's just take the test and see what happens. You're not a cheater. I thought I was. Hold on, let's look at these stats. Relationship status. It's complicated. Going out with Allison, going out with Carla. Yes, I am a cheater, aren't I? Oh wait, hold on. Some stats went up. Magic, 80%. Oh, that's cool. Yay! My GPA is back up to 2.8. Nice. Alright. But according to this, I'm not a cheater, and you hope you'll never be. Well, I think we failed at that. You'll rely on your brain for this test. Nothing more. To your surprise, once you start thinking about the answers, you realize you actually did have a decent idea of what to say. Maybe you studied more than you thought you did. The paper you turn in at the end of class isn't the best exam you've ever written, but you still feel pretty good about it. You can honestly hold your head up high and smile at Miss Rivera as you hand it to her. After school, you go down to the basement to talk to Miss Clay. The room 2014 is slightly open. You can hear voices inside. Miss Clay is talking to Jake Cohen. You haven't spoken to Jake in a few weeks. Not since you were trying to figure out why you broke up with Carla. Now you know the full story. Jake went to room 014 and got his mind taken over by the vernacular. So you're not surprised to see Jake is here to talk to Miss Clay, but you're definitely interested to hear what they have to say to each other. I got the Wadsworth scholarship, Jake says. Did you? Why, Jake, that's wonderful. It sounds as if Miss Clay is happy. Out of the corner of your eye, you can see Jake nodding. It happened just the way you said it would, he continues. In my application, I talked about being on the Treasury Committee in student government, and how I was committed to making a better life for myself by going to business school, just like we had talked about in the Gold Crown meeting. What did your parents say? Jake replies, they're really excited. I'm going to try for the soccer scholarship too. But even if I don't get that, the Wadsworth scholarship will make it much easier to afford college. I'm excited too. Jake's words might be animated, but his voice barely changes. It stays the same, even tranquil. I keep freaking Pokemon is messed up the pronunciation of that word for me. The same, even, tranquil tone that through the whole conversation. I should go tell Mr. Pierce, shouldn't I? Oh yes, says Miss Clay. He'll be very happy for you. You're a real model citizen, Jake. For the first time, you see Jake smile. How do you feel about what you've just heard? Either. It sounds like Miss Clay has done good things for Jake, and I can support that. Mr. Pierce is doing the right thing, and Miss Clay is right to support him. I want to be on the winning side. Or, it doesn't matter how happy Jake is, his being mind-controlled, that could never be good. We're going to say that, because let's fight the system as much as we can. This is interesting. That's right. This isn't the Jake you knew in elementary school. You're sure that if Jake knew what he was doing, he would hate it. What are we going to do next? Either I want to pretend to support Miss Clay so I can get more information, or it's risky, but I think I can act well enough to fool her. Or, I want to try to affect the vernaculum while I'm close to it. It's very risky, but I think it's worth it. Or, I want to try to get more information while I'm here, so I'll stay quiet. I think I'll stay quiet. Long minutes of silence tick past while you sit in room 014 to pretend to work. Mostly, though, you're watching Miss Clay. Silence grows heavier and heavier. You can swear the silence has a rhythm to it, like the steady slap of waves on the beach. After a half hour or so, you realize it's not silence, and not your imagination either. It's the vinculum. The magic rises and falls in cycles, like waves rising and falling in an ocean. You're pretty sure that you can use that information to help you when you put your plan for the vinculum into action. Ooh. That night, you've planned a date with Allison, and she said it was your turn to choose what to do. What do you have? What have you got planned? Either dinner or movie. It might be expensive, but it's classic for a reason. Or walk around downtown where everyone can see us. Allison's shy, so she might not like it, but I want to see and be seen. Or a walk on the beach. It's exactly the kind of romantic gesture Allison would love. Or just hanging out behind the school. Who needs to plan anything? Well, hanging out behind the school might be a bad idea because Carla would be there. So, how much money do we have? $210. That's not bad. That's more money than I had last time. Well, last gameplay. Well, no surprise there. I have a job this time, so whatever. Oh, let's take a nice long walk on the beach. Giggle. The beach is beautiful today. Bright sky and a brisk wind blowing off the water that stirs up the waves and make them crash hard on the sand. Far out in the distance, you can see a sailboat, but other than that, you and Allison are the only people in sight. You might as well be the only people in the world. Allison smiles radiantly as the wind whips her blonde hair. Solitude, nature, romance. This is exactly the kind of date that would make Allison ecstatically happy. You've always known me better than anyone else, she murmurs as she pulls you in for a kiss. I love you. It's really nice to spend time with you, Allison sighs as the two of you start to head home. You're not around a lot these days. How do you answer that? I'm sorry. I guess I haven't been a good boyfriend as I should. I'll try to do better. Or, I'm sorry, I've been really busy. I feel kind of bad, but other things just keep happening. Or, well, that's because I've been dealing with more important things. Allison should really understand that. Well, this is the perfect date, and it needs a perfect response. So we'll be the complete jerkwad and say, well, that's because I'm dealing with more important things. Allison should know that already. Allison stiffens a little. I understand, she says, not meeting your eyes. But I miss you. You sigh. Look, my highest priority right now has to be either dealing with Miss Clay in the Vinculum, or the drama club play, or keeping my grades up, or getting into college, becoming a model citizen. Well, dealing with Miss Clay in the Vinculum. Okay, Allison says again, in the same quiet, unhappy tone. I'm sorry I brought it up. Can we talk about something else? So you do, and after a while, you don't talk at all, because you're making out again, and you're both much happier. Ew, ooh, Pong and Allison sit in that tree. When it's time to go, you give Allison a kiss goodbye and head home. Okay, whatever. By the time you get home, it's after dark, so you hope you're not late for dinner. When you walk through the front door, you see both your parents on the couch, watching the door with expectant looks on their faces. Uh-oh? Hi, you begin. We want to talk about planning a trip to look at colleges this summer, Dad says, grinning up at you. He loves planning trips. He can sit for hours with maps and guidebooks. He's been looking forward to your college tour for ages. The coffee table is covered with glossy brochures and from dozens of colleges and universities, as well as from I'm reading this wrong tonight. As well as from various scholarship programs. But the one that jumps out at you is the one for the Kingsport Blue and Gold, advertising the Gold Crown team. There are plenty of schools right here in Massachusetts, Mom says. Well, we can look at a little farther away if you want. We want to help you make the best future possible for yourself, Dad continues, and that means you need to work hard and think seriously about scholarships. The familiar, worried tone is starting. The familiar, worried tone is starting to creep into Dad's voice. It always does when he talks about money. It's there in Mom's voice too when she says, "Have you seen this flyer about the scholarships you can apply for when you're on the Gold Crown team? The principal's special program? I ran into Deb Cohen at the grocery store on the way home from work. You know, Jake's mother. She said that Jake's gotten in two scholarships since he joined the Gold Crown team. I knew you'd been working on the Kingsport scholarships, but there's only one Kingsport Scholar and Kingsport Athlete Award, and there are a lot more scholarships available if you're on the Gold Crown team. What are you going to say to your parents? You know how worried they are about money. The more scholarships you get, the easier it'll be to be on them. Being on the Gold Crown team means a fast track to a lot of scholarships. But that would mean joining Miss Clay and Mr. Pierce, and you would never want to do that." "Well, doesn't look like I might have much of a choice, because I've already joined the Gold Crown team. Because the other choices I could have had are, I'm planning to join the Gold Crown team, it's the truth. Or, I'm planning to join the Gold Crown team, I'm just saying that so they'll stop bugging me. Or, I don't want to be on the Gold Crown team, and I need to tell you why. It's time to tell Mom and Dad about my powers and Mr. Pierce and Clay's magic and everything." Well, I don't have a choice in the matter, so. Relief floods your parents' faces. "Oh, honey," Mom sighs. "I know this will be a good thing for you." Man, I'm reading weird tonight. "Now, let's look at all those college brochures," says Dad. "I've got a week off in July, and we can take some campus tours then. For the rest of the evening, you and your parents talk about college plans, which campus tours you want to take, which schools have the best programs, and which majors. Your parents seem happy with the way the conversation has gone. Well, that's one fewer thing to worry about. Chapter 8. Another opening, another show." But we'll have to wait until next time here on Sensei-pong for Chapter 8. Like and subscribe, everybody.